They said the planet was uninhabitable. The atmosphere, too violent. The rain, acidic. No tools, no backup, no chance. And yet, when the storm rolled in, the human didn't just survive. He built a fortress with his bare hands, while the rest of the galaxy cowered under leaves and prayed. They called it Trial World 7, a barren planet riddled with jagged stone, cutting winds, and weather systems that turned skies to fire and rain into poison. It was never meant to be visited, only studied. Yet here stood 9 species, dropped for the Galactic Cooperation's elite survival trial. Each species sent their best, from the avian Niler, whose feathers could deflect shrapnel, to the water-breathing Zalarii, equipped with hydration suits, to the Tvek, who could chew iron and spit nails. And among them, one human, Corporal Elias Mercer. Alone, no gear, no tech, just a standard-issue survival jumpsuit, now patched and torn. The moment they landed, the aliens scattered, each one searching for cover or resources. The rain began within the hour. Thick, heavy droplets that sizzled when they hit exposed skin. The Niler tried to build a tent using their wings. The Tvek began clawing a pit with their claws. The Zalarii huddled together, their suits rapidly overheating under the strain. Elias? He walked away from the group. Quietly, without a word. He studied the cliffs. The moss growing against wind-sheltered rocks. The curve of water trickling down one wall, clean, filtered by the stone. He nodded once and got to work. It started with flat stones and vines. He didn't rush. He tested every vine for tensile strength, twisted and knotted each one like corded rope. He used flat rock as tools, grinders, hammers, saws. On the second night, the wind howled like a beast in pain. Screams echoed across the terrain. The Zalarii had lost one of their kind, burned by the rain while trying to dig a trench. The Tvek shelters collapsed, and the Niler were now flying blind in the smoke-filled clouds. Elias kept building. Each day he returned with new materials. Bones of creatures that died in the storm, hardened mud bricks he left to bake in the rare sunlight, bark peeled from strange trees. He made gutters from stone channels, diverting water. He layered mud and bark for insulation. By the 4th day, what stood behind him wasn't a hut. It was a structure. A 2-room shelter with a sloped roof, dug into the side of a cliff, facing away from the wind, reinforced with rock slabs and tree roots. He'd used alien biology, planetary study, and sheer stubborn trial and error to outwit nature. The others saw it from afar. At first, they laughed. Primitive construction, hissed the Tvek. Won't last a night, chirped the Niler. Then the storm hit again, and Elias lit a fire. It was small, smokeless, and dry. The flames danced inside his shelter like old friends returning from a long absence. The aliens outside huddled under soaked leaves. Their skin blistered. Their suits sparked. Some tried climbing into caves, only to be driven out by predators or gases. The next morning, the Niler leader stood at Elias's door. "We require shelter," he said with shaking wings. Elias didn't move. He watched the smoke drift upward, tapping a stick on the ground. "You mocked me. We underestimated." Elias motioned to the second room. "Only space for 2. The Niler entered, bowing his head. Hours later, more came. The Zalarii offered food. The Tvek brought sharpened tools. Elias let some in, rejected others. Not out of cruelty, but because the structure couldn't hold more. Still, he helped. He taught them. He showed them how to build supports, how to dig fire pits that wouldn't flood, how to tie bark for watertight sealants. Within a week, the planet had transformed. Pockets of sturdy shelters dotted the cliffs. Fires burned bright at night. Tunnels connected caves. Species that once dominated the stars now followed blueprints drawn with charcoal on stone, designed by one stubborn, weather-worn human. On the 10th day, the observers in orbit sent a message. Unexpected result. Human exceeded predictions. Group cohesion at 94%. Trial ending early. The ships arrived. The aliens were retrieved, debriefed, and praised for unity and resilience. When Elias was pulled aboard, the commander of the Galactic Cooperation asked a simple question. "How did you know what to do?" Elias smiled, tired and muddy. "I didn't. I just refused to die wet and cold." The commander blinked, and the others followed. They were too proud to ask, but not too proud to learn. Later, a report circulated through the Empire. A classified file marked Human Resilience, Unquantifiable. Recommend further study. And deep within the Empire's archives, they revised the rating of humanity. Not a primitive species, but a storm-hardened one.